Welcome to the Preferred Experience podcast here with Richard Prescott today for episode 120. He's our athlete of the month for May of 2022. We just finished a workout. It's 6 in the morning. And how was that workout today?
It was as expected.
Yep.
Tough. Yeah.
Yep.
I killed it on the rest though.
I did
3
too.
minutes of rest were
That was
awesome.
my best part today.
Yeah.
Did you scale it?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Because scaling is cool.
Yep. I like it. I like that shirt. That's a perfect shirt for me.
Yeah. That's my motto.
Yep. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've been at CrossFit Preferred for how long now?
Well, I started in August 2020, so almost
Yep.
2 years. This summer will be 2 years. So
Right during the crazy times.
yeah, right when you guys started to come back and we were working outside.
Yep.
So it was it was a crazy time, but it was nice to get back.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And you were doing CrossFit in Colorado
Yeah,
before?
yeah. I started CrossFit in 2018, and the gym that I was at there, they had both a CrossFit side and then a regular like weightlifting side, and I had been on the weightlifting side, and it was kind of getting boring a little bit, and they ended up having to move, and they didn't have room to move the weightlifting side, so they were just moving CrossFit. So I had the option to like go to 24-hour fitness or do CrossFit, and I'd been thinking about CrossFit for a while, and my oldest daughter was doing it at the time, so I was like, I'm just gonna go into it, and I haven't turned back since.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, it works great.
yeah.
That's awesome. What was your main reason you wanted to start doing CrossFit?
It was just kind of getting boring on the just doing weightlifting, the same,
Yeah.
chest on Monday, shoulders on Tuesday, legs on Wednesday, just kind of going through that same routine, and so this was the variety that comes with CrossFit and just the different skills that you have to learn to get better at it, because in weightlifting, if you're weightlifting by yourself, you kind of reach that point where you either have to get a weightlifting buddy or you just plateau and stay there.
Totally.
And I had been plateaued for
a long time.
So except for my deadlift, which, because you don't need a spotter for that.
Yeah.
So everything else, but with like my back squat and my bench press
deadlift.
and that, it had just plateaued. So
Yeah. Yep.
it's nice to have 15 buddies to work out with now. So
Yeah, it makes a total difference.
Yeah.
I built a garage gym at our house, mainly for our kids, but I've been doing some workouts there, but it's not the same. It's so boring to me.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have an option to do a couple things.
Right.
But I am not pushing myself like I would with
Right.
everyone.
Yeah.
The music cranked up, the camaraderie, it works so much better. So it's been good. So what did you do? You kind of told us what you did before CrossFit. You were doing the weightlifting. I know you're big into hiking. Were you big into that before CrossFit?
Not really. Living in Colorado, you kind of, you see the mountains there. You kind of want to get out into them, and so about 5 or 6 years ago, I started hiking the 14ers in Colorado, and so
cool.
that kind of triggers this interest in getting into the outdoors and that and exploring. So I love hiking. I love being out in the outdoors. I'm not a huge camper, but I don't mind.
I like getting out and being out there and then back in my bed at night. It's not bad. But I'll camp every once in a while.
Yeah, so if there's a cot, that makes it a little bit easier to crash.
Yep. So what's your favorite 14er you did in Colorado?
The first one I did was Grays and Tories, which is there's two 14ers, and the peaks are about 3/4 of a mile apart. So
cool.
You go down through the saddle, and so we climbed up the one, and then we went down the saddle up to the other one. And then you hike back down to the trailhead, and that one was a lot of fun because you kind of get that 2-for-1.
Yeah.
And so there's I think about 52 in Colorado.
Are there really?
Total.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
So a lot of people, it's their goal to get all 52. I was just like, I'll get all the easy ones, and I'll leave the rock climbing ones, those dangerous ones to the mountaineers.
I had that experience last year.
Yeah, when you did Whitney.
Whitney.
Yeah.
But it just totally piqued my interest on getting out and doing more of those. So I would like to go do some Colorado ones. So
let's plan it.
Let's plan out a day to do it. It'd be fun. So we could find some of those and do that. That'd be cool. So let's see. So since joining, what was the name of your gym in Colorado, by the way?
CrossFit Castle Rock.
That's right, CrossFit Castle Rock. So
I got all the shirts still.
Yeah, I know, they're cool. I like them. I like collecting shirts from other gyms that I've been to.
Right, yeah.
It's fun. What has been the difference of our gym versus Castle Rock since you've been there?
The endurance class on Thursdays, the Thursday morning at the track. So my endurance had never really been that great. But ever since I've been here and I've been consistently going to that endurance class, it makes like huge difference in the gym. I mean, it took a while. It took about nine months that first year. It was kind of slow, but I definitely see a huge difference now where it's like at the end of a workout, I'm not panting and taking huge breaks. I'm still taking little breaks, but it's
recovering faster.
Yeah, and it's more controlled. I'm more aware of where I need to be and my breathing and just the speed I can go from the start to finish. So,
do you do any other endurance training during the week, or is that?
That's usually about it. Sometimes I'll go for a run. You know, like I need to get out and do more trail running because I really like doing trail running.
Come join me Saturdays.
Yeah, I need to.
I go almost every Saturday.
I need to because I really enjoy it. So
yeah, it's fun. I love getting out there and being in the middle of nowhere for a little bit every week. So it helps. It's good. I just did the Grand Canyon last Friday, and
I want to do that one again.
It was good. We were talking. Tirsa and I were talking about it last night.
Okay.
We got to get a group out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Go do it again in the fall. It'd be fun to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we won't do it as a gym because
exactly.
I got in trouble for that. But we'll have some groups that go out there and hike out there. It'll be good.
Some individuals that randomly show up at the same time.
Right. You're here.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll do something like that.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be recording that, I guess. So what was, before you started CrossFit, were there any like things that you were nervous about, that any things you'd heard, that misconceptions?
Yeah. So, and you know, when CrossFit first came out, there was a lot of maybe poor training of coaches. And so for like that first 5-6 years or so, it seemed like there was a really negative.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the weightlifting world, there was really negative light being shown on CrossFit. A lot of really weird injuries and just poor coaching and that sort of stuff.
Bad competitions.
Yeah, I was really nervous about getting injured and or just having, you know, bad coaches.
Yeah.
You know, that would end up where I'm unable to do anything. So so it took me a while, and when I realized that it wasn't going to go away, it wasn't just this little fad that was going to pass, and it looked like it was getting better.
Yeah.
And it just looks like it just continues to get better now.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like it does. I think we all keep learning different ways to train better and more efficiently and safer, and it's been really good.
Yeah.
So what what's like the initial thing that really got you to want to start coming here? Was it proximity? Was it? So did you check out anything?
Yeah. So when we were planning on moving from Colorado, I started looking at gyms in this area, you know, here in Mesa, and just get an idea of what gyms were here. And I started following them on social media, and you know, Megan is a killer social media.
She does
rep.
awesome.
So so because there was every class there was videos, and there was, you know, so there's this huge marketing tool, and the other gyms, they just don't do that.
Yeah.
And I had been doing comp train in Colorado, and I knew you guys did comp train here because the workouts were the same.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they were the same as what I was doing there.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, I like comp train, so I'll join here, and then we happened to find a house that was relatively close,
like
which is just
mile
away.
away.
And a half.
Yeah.
So it made it an easier decision to.
Yeah.
So
but you did have a couple gyms that were within a couple miles of here.
Yeah.
So I think there's 3. in this area within 2 miles of each other.
Right.
So
Right.
it's interesting how that all works out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the active social media presence makes a huge difference because,
Thanks.
you know, even before I started, I knew the coaches' names, and that sort of stuff. So I could kind of watch the coaches and that a little bit.
Yeah.
So that made a big difference.
That's cool. That's good. What's a unique thing you could tell us about yourself?
So when I was a kid, I was like really accident prone. So I spent I've had stitches in my head like 15 times and 3 broken arms, and so I just was a very accident prone kid. So I was always like getting into all sorts of trouble. So I've got some really crazy stories about stuff that I was doing when I got.
What's your craziest?
Well, I got two that are about equal. One is when I got scalped.
Oh man!
Me and my buddy were racing through a park at night, and we were racing through the playground, and my buddy shoved me, and I hit the monkey bar, the little pull-up bar, and I just peeled the top of my head back.
Oh jeez!
I got out of school for a week for that one. So
that'll cause some trouble.
Yeah, I got a concussion from it, and that was a crazy night.
That's rough.
And
have any of those messed you up with anything?
It really jacked up my back, and my back's never been the same since.
Really?
Like I can kind of work around it, but it's just never really got to the point where it was the same as before. So I struggled with posture and that. So so that's kind of where some of that came from.
Yeah.
And then the other one is I was playing with bullets, and I ended up smashing a bullet, and it shot into my leg.
Oh dang! So, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I've been shot and scalped. Yep. That's what I tell people.
That's pretty unique. Yeah. I don't know anyone else that said that. That's cool. Well, I'm glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I even pulled the bullet out with my own hand.
Serious?
With my own fingers. Yeah.
What kind of a bullet?
It was a .22.
Oh wow!
But yeah, I got this little.
Luckily,
hole.
A smaller round.
Yeah. I told my mom I fell off my bike.
Oh. What did you do to hit it? Or to
I smashed it with a rock.
Oh,
I was smashing them with rocks. So I figured you could smash it with a rock and it'd explode. Then a big bang. I was like 11, I think. Yeah. So you
the things
look
we do.
To that with your boys.
Yeah. I'll have to keep those away from them. That's crazy. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good memories.
Yeah. So, and did you grow up in Colorado then?
No, I grew up in Utah.
Okay.
So I was born in California, lived there till I was 5, and then moved to Utah and lived there till I was out of college. So
yeah, and then Colorado was with your own family.
Yeah. So I've got 3 girls, and we had 2 girls when we lived in Utah, and then our third came in Colorado, and then we lived in St. Louis for a few years, and then moved back to Colorado, and then now we're here.
Then all over. Yeah. Is this where you plan to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to shovel the snow here. So
yeah, it's a great place. It feels pretty perfect
I know,
now.
Right? Today is great.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What ages are your girls?
My oldest is 21, and she's going to school at my alma mater, Weber State, in Ogden, Utah.
Cool.
And then I got a 16 and a 13-year-old.
Awesome.
That are at Highland here. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And the 21-year-old still doing CrossFit, or?
No, she's kind of been busy with college.
Yeah.
So she's tried to do CrossFit, and it just hasn't really worked into her schedule. I mean, she works at the hospital, and she's like a EMT at the hospital.
She's got a lot going on.
So she works long shifts, and she's in college, so she's trying to balance schoolwork and that. So she'll go to the gym on campus and that, but she hasn't been able to do CrossFit as much. So
yeah, well, it's good she learned some good things in CrossFit. I'm sure that carry over.
Right. Yeah. And she's working on becoming a paramedic, and so she'll get back into CrossFit.
Yeah, she'll have to stay in shape for that.
We'll
get her in here.
Every gym has their policemen and their firefighters.
Totally.
So she'll have to join again.
Yep, that's cool. So what's one big thing that you're working on right now, in the gym or out of the gym, or?
My energy, just where I focus my energy. Like as I've gotten older, I've realized, I stress out about a lot of things that I can't control, and
I'm learning that with teenage girls.
Maybe that's what triggered it.
That are about the same age as yours.
Yeah. So the teenage girls you get to that point where it's like, I can stress about this because I can't control it.
Yeah.
So just trying to monitor where I direct my energy and making sure that the energy that I use is used in a way that actually makes a difference for me.
Totally.
So self-care, as my kids are getting older, I'm realizing I have a little more time to myself again. So that self-care comes into play again. And you're kind of like, I've been focused on my career and parenting for the last 21 years.
Yeah.
So now what do I do? Now that my kids don't need me quite as much, I'm still doing activities and that with my kids, but they don't quite need me the way they used to. So kind of have a little bit more time.
Crazy how it changes.
Yeah. So
for sure,
finding myself again, and then taking my energy and directing it into those things that can benefit myself and others around me. So.
That's cool. Is there a main thing that's kind of helped with that?
Yeah, actually going to therapy.
That's good.
So I see a therapist, and it's been a life changer. Really.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I've talked about doing that for years, and I've never done it, but I've heard so many people say that, and it's something that I'm interested in checking out too.
And it, as a guy, it's not cool, but you get in there and you start you talk about, I was going through this experience, and they can explain it to you. They're like, oh yeah, well, because you were feeling this is where this is coming from, and you're like, I never realized
it's interesting how our minds work. And figure things out. So that's cool. Way to go doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's cool. Well, what's the most important thing to you in your life right now?
I would say my health, my overall health, physical, emotional, my mental health, the health of my family. So just trying to keep balance, and like I said, focus on my energy and making sure that my energy is being used effectively.
Awesome. So it sounds like you're getting that dialed in all the areas.
It's a work in progress.
It's good. It never stops,
no,
does it?
It doesn't.
That's what I'm learning. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we like to focus on the gym, of course, but we like to make sure we've really found that what we do in the gym carries over into our lives. And it makes me, I don't know about for you, but for me, it makes me want to do things differently outside of the gym. So I notice when I'm doing really well in here in my workouts that it carries over into my life, and it pushes me to do better in other areas with work, with the family, with whatever we have going on.
Yeah.
It's made a big difference.
Yep.
But anything else you want to add for today? Anything come to mind?
One word of advice I have to say is don't play leapfrog with unicorns.
You always have some good advice.
Some wisdom.
Yep, that's good.
That's.
Do you want to go a little further into that, or are we going to leave it at that?
I think we leave it at that.
Okay.
That's something people can ponder on.
Yeah. I just did. Yeah, well, that's awesome. Thanks for being here today.
Bet.
It's so fun working out with you.
I know.
The days I get to with you.
I know you're a couple times a week.
You're in here usually 5 days a week.
Yeah,
6 days a week.
6 days a week. Well, 5 here, 1 day at the track. So
that's good.
So
cool.
It's the best way to start my day.
Awesome. Well, great talking with you. And it's always fun being with you and hanging out with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks a lot. Remember, it doesn't take a miracle, it takes a plan. That's what we do here at CrossFit Preferred, and we have some great workouts that will push you to be better in the gym, out of the gym, and in your everyday life, and that's what we have going on. Thanks a lot. Have a great week, and thanks again, Richard,
for
being here.
Happy to help.
See you.